What a difference a day makes. Who wrote that song? Anyway, yeah. So, but no, yeah. Just start coughing. This is what you want to hear. Light goes on. I started coughing. No, I'm not turning on this light. I'm not. I'm not. Ugh. It's not even bright enough. Oh my god. I have to do it like right there. No, it's okay. You don't. You know what I look like. Reposition the camera. Yeah. So, well, it's raining here for days on end, and it's like sometimes I feel okay. Well, I feel a little less flat today, um, but I also feel like because the sun is out, it's not that warm, but the sun is shining. That I feel like the collective relief of the city. That it feels better. Like if it's like all of everyone in New York City is like well, it's like a vibe, and it's and each person is almost like a drop of rain or like a tuning fork, like a psychic tuning fork. And I feel the collective wave of it, like almost like the ocean. If the ocean is rough, you feel it. If the ocean is calm, you feel it and you see it. So, so it's like a psychic wave that hits you. You know, if everyone's collectively depressed in New York, I feel it. When I'm collectively happy, you can feel it too, or at least in a better mood. So it's one of those days I feel the city's relieved that the sun is shining. So I feel that psychic wave. I believe in that shit. I don't care what you think. There's limits to what I believe, um, but those are one of those things that it's hard not to believe. The collective, uh, the collective sense of like a lot of souls kind of vibing. It's like when you go to a religious institution. Doesn't matter if it's old or new. If a lot of people go there and pray, you could feel, you know that you're in a church even if somebody didn't tell you. That's how I feel. That if you close your eyes, you know that you're in a different space, not exactly in somebody's apartment or office, that there is some sort of focused energy. I know that sounds like this at some level I have to be a goofball. No, that there is some truth to it. So maybe, so I'm not saying that I'm feeling better because of me. I'm maybe feeling better because the city feels better, simply because the sun is out. Um, well, it's a long way to get to that. Well, there was no real point, but and tomorrow, obviously Monday, I'm just gonna crash completely. My mood's gonna completely just go like down a big toilet because you're gonna feel that Monday morning. You're gonna feel that essence of everyone trying to get on the train and go to work and do whatever, and it's not going to be pleasant. So, and then you have to kind of brace yourself for that psychic wave, and then that's that's where you feel like, oh, you just stay home and drink because it's like you just want to blow past the day because you don't want to even feel that kind of like negative. It's just like negative vibe. I know it's like people just keeps using those words like negative, positive vibing. It's not really like, I mean, they might be the right words, except I'm just tired of hearing those words. I wish there were new words for the same things because they get so overused that you kind of get like, ugh, I get it, I get it, I get it. So just ride the wave when you can, and then that's that. I'm busy today. I don't even have time for this, but I'm just making time for it because, because I've told you many times that like I can come here, I can go there, I can come back, I can come here, pre-planned with everything I want to say, and then the journey from home here, anything can happen on the train, anything can happen on the street. So I'm just kind of safeguarding myself. Like if I have some things on my mind, I don't want to get all polluted by doing 10,000 different things before I settle in and be like whatever. Because then, no matter what, my mood and what I'm going to say is going to change. So this is a here and now sort of situation. And that's that. So I don't get too corrupted throughout my day as it just keeps going and going and going. So, yeah, I mean, like I've said before, the weather definitely lent itself to kind of just staying home and drinking like a jug of wine, because it's just been cold and rainy and sad and weird, and just trying to like fit into that mood and doing everything you can to get rid of that, to do things to make sure that you don't get overtaken by that mood. I probably mentioned this, like I said, I always mentioned it before. I always mention the same things because I'm like on an endless OCD cycle half the time. Um, but obviously, one of the most influential artists in my life. Um, and then, talking about when it's like when I was like, having wine or beer, like, I was just getting loaded. And she was like, looking like, so like, why are you doing this? Like, why? And I'm like, well, because I'm done for the day. I did everything I needed to do. There's only so much I can do. And therefore, like you got to pop open the bottle and do whatever. And she looked at me and she says, there's always something to do. Always. And if you're an artist, there's always something to do. And that's that. And I took that, and I try to take that perspective or opinion and I try to make it into truth because it's difficult to actually say, well, that like, well, that's not true, and blah blah blah. You get done, everyone gets done with their chores at the end of the day, and that kind of thing. And that's the reason they even have these products to relax and to kind of like start wrapping up the day. But then I realized, like, yeah, even when I got home, I was over the city doing this, that, and the other thing, and even about 11 o'clock at night, I'm still working on stuff because I wasn't tired yet. I'm still kind of amped. And yeah, there's always some stuff to do. And you have to start thinking that way, just as an artist or whatever, that there's always something to do. And it's not about procrastinating. It's like if you're going to get those urges and you're going to have some sort of issue, you might as well just keep going, keep doing until you're completely exhausted. And that's what I do every day. I do everything I can to burn out my day. I will walk 10, 15 miles a day. I will go to galleries. I'll go to museums. I will go to FedEx. I will buy spray paint. I will buy paint supplies. I will paint. I will do this. If I have to, I will mop the studio. Like, it's just kind of like always there because it's like, well, just to avoid everything else that can happen, all the bad news, all the stuff. And just because, as soon as I plop down in front of the TV, and try to even start binge watching. I was gonna do that today. I felt like I could do it, get a pot roast, and just chill. And everything's all well and fine, but then 2 or 3 hours in, you start going completely like out of your mind. So like I'm not ready to do that. I would like to, but then you got the rest of the day. So it's like, well, might as well do everything I can now, and then maybe do that Sunday pot roast later. That takes hours to cook, which I'm fine with. But you have to plant yourself there, and that's that. And I'm sure I mentioned this before. It's the same thing. It's just like the more I walk, the more I do, the more I can do. And so then the more you do, it's almost like a vicious cycle the other way. If you keep going and going like a shark, you're just going to keep swimming, and the swimming might get easier, but you're going to have to do more of it in order to get the same results, that to get back to bed. 5 miles is just not good enough anymore. And that's also how it how it was, like, even with the consumption of things. It's just like, well, 2 glasses ain't gonna do it. 2 bottles will do it. It's just like you keep upping the ante because of what else can you do? You get your tolerance builds, muscles build. Whichever way you want to call it. There's a building to the process. If you keep being consistent, things are going to change and elevate. So that's why I feel like I have to run around half the day in order to feel like calm enough to be like, okay, well then I can go sit down and binge watch and have a pot roast and not go off the deep end, because you feel like you have all this time, and time is the only thing that we got, and I can't get this time back tomorrow. Who knows? I'll get a phone call, something like that, and then boom. I'm not going to be able to focus on exactly what I want to do to get something else out there, which is proposals right now. I got to go to the FedEx. I went to the Staples, and I hate Staples because all their USB slots were dirty as hell. And I'm looking at the, it was like, is your vagina as dirty as this USB port? Which is not a nice thing to say, but they're Gen Zers. They could take a little bit of a little shellacking here and there because they should clean that crap. So I had to wait till a FedEx opened because at least they clean out their ports. Ranting and raving of a middle-aged man at Gen Zers, shaking his fist, is like, why don't you clean up your USB ports there, buddy? Anyway, all right.